Welcome to That Game Talk Sports blog. This is Tony Yashar. Today we're joined by Mr. Barry Kelley and Mr. Joe Johnson. We're going to go into our top 10 NBA point guard picks from the year 1980, which we consider our generation, and give our viewpoints on our picks. So we're going to jump right into it. We got some interesting picks here and some topics, stats, and everything. So let's go ahead and let Mr. Kelley start first and go ahead and
All right, we're gonna start from go from 10 down to 1. My number 10 is Sam Cassell, Mr. E.T. himself. Something about his game I just used to love. His clutch moments. Considering one, he used to play with in the Houston Rockets, and he pretty much won it in his first 2 years, rookie year, and things like that. And also, as his career progressed, he's, point guards made his teammates better. He also hit clutch baskets, even though he were on bad teams. He pretty much helped those teams, to compete every night.
Right.
My number 9, Allen Iverson. Not really a true point guard, as what the position would entail. But you got to give it to this guy, man. Only 6 feet, if that. I think he was a little shorter than that.
Right.
He used to get buckets from that PG position. He definitely inspired a generation as far as NBA. Even though it may not have been the best time for the youth of that time with the cornrows and things of that nature.
Right.
But again, he used to get buckets. My number 8, Gary Payton, GP the glove. I just loved him. Just his defensive mind, his trash talking, and like we mentioned earlier, you talk trash to the greatest player on the earth and had this guy missing, off his game, it's something to say. Number 7, Tim Hardaway, killer crossover, UTEP step, whatever you want to call it. He was a trash talker too, he used to get buckets as well. He's run with Run TMC, him, Chris Mullin, and what's the other guy, Mitch Richmond. Used to get it in that way. Again, Tim Hardaway, that crossover and the way what he brought to the game. Steve Nash, 2-time MVP.
Right.
The players he had, he made them better. Yeah. Stoudemire, even look at him now. Not a shell of what he was back then. He had Sean Marion made him look good. Dial, who else was on it? Joe Johnson, same there, things like that. And again, assist consistency. He used to, get. I didn't think he was the best athletically, but you get him in motion, hard to stop. He gets a little, pull up jumper and stuff like that. Pretty much. A good, point guard there.
Yes.
Number 5, I may be somewhat biased, since I'm a Spurs fan. Tony Parker, guy gets buckets in the lane from a point guard. Only 6'2", 180. 3 championships. You have to, give him his props as far as being that point guard. And actually, as his career progressed, he became more of a true point guard. Now he's getting like 7 assists a game. I would like to see it at 10, but that's not the type of player he is. And we don't have like the stallions like what Chris Paul has on, the Clippers, where he could just throw it up and, people just dunk it down your throat. Number 4, he brought a nastiness to the game, Isaiah Thomas. Him and Magic, the duels between them, the duels between him and the Bulls and things like that. What he brought to that game for a point guard. Outside of Joe Dumars, did he really have big scorers? No, but he made that team, what it is. And I forget what playoff series when he played on the bad ankle, he was still killing them, just to show the testament. The Lakers, yes, just to show the testament of what he, what he did for that team. And also 2 back-to-back championships, so definitely have to put him on that list.
Right.
Number 3, Jason Kidd. Took me a while to think about it, but to look at his game, even though he wasn't the most athletic, that guy, he made people look good. Kenyon Martin, what's old boy from Richard Jefferson, that whole Nets team that went to the championship twice. You put any other point guard there, they're not making it there.
Right.
I guess he's an underrated defender too. He used to get steals and things like that. It's the tail end of his career. He kind of, slapped back. He started improving his 3-point percentage. So, from a point guard standpoint, Jason Kidd, definitely big point guard, 6'4", 220.
Yeah.
He's definitely what you want in a point guard.
Absolutely.
John Stockton, him and Carmelo on that pick and roll, man. You knew it was coming.
Couldn't stop
Could
it.
not stop it.
Right.
He definitely, outside of Carmelo, who else did he have on that team? He had, Jeff Hornacek, Antoine Carr, I'm sorry, and players like that. He definitely made them better. He leads the league in career assists. So a testament, even after Carmelo left or whatever, he pretty much was getting his assists, setting people up. And Magic Johnson, I go between him and John Stockton. I think if Magic would have played a little bit longer, I think he would have had those records for the assists, but with the HIV thing and things of that nature. Now that guy, he just brought that flair to the game, catching people with no-look passes. Smart guy as well. He wasn't the most athletic. He didn't have the crazy handle, but he was able to, play his position. And also he played all 5 positions. So, that definitely bodes well for a point guard. You know where the other positions, where they want the ball and how to handle that. So that's my 10. So just to go from 10 to 9, Sam Cassell, Allen Iverson, Gary Payton, Tim Hardaway, Steve Nash, Tony Parker, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd, Stockton, and at number 1, Magic Johnson. So that's my take on it, fellas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, my pick, this will definitely start an argument. So mine from 10 to 1, first off, Kevin Johnson. 10-time, I'm sorry, not 10-time All-Star, that would be John Stockton. I apologize for that. Kevin Johnson with the Suns over 4 seasons from 89 to 92, averaged 21 points, 11 assists, and a steal and a half per game. So that makes him consistent. And, my favorite dunk, I think, of all time was when he dunked on Hakeem Olajuwon. And that was one of my favorite players. So I guess, Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't there, but the taking it to the basket asset of Kevin Johnson is definitely something to look into. Number 9 for me would be Rajon Rondo. Can't shoot a lick, but confidence at the rim and the lankiness helps him just be able to smother opponents, causing those turnovers. Defensive player, definitely a defensive player. Number 8 would be Mo Cheeks. Not many people hear of Mo Cheeks because he was, like we were talking about earlier, in the shadows of Moses Malone and Dr. J. But his defense was fantastic. You couldn't really take that away from him. He helped get the 83 title with Dr. J and Moses Malone with the 76ers. And the thing about it, he loved to play team ball. He definitely loved to play team ball. My number 7 pick was Tony Parker. He should have been further up the list, but the numbers were solid. But for being 30-something years old now, at that time, it wasn't consistent for me at that time. I guess it built to a crescendo, I guess. Number 6 was Steve Nash. Beautiful player, general on the floor, commanded the floor. Doesn't miss free throws. That's the thing. He's an all-time leader in free throws when he's healthy. That's the only thing. Whenever he has the knee problems or the ankle problems or he's nursing an ankle sprain, he is definitely the ultimate offensive threat. Number 5 would be Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is I think, in my opinion, I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but he's the master of the killer crossover to me in regards to being a right-hander. His layups, once he has the ball in the open floor, you can forget about it. You just don't bother defending it. Number 4 for mine would be the glove, Gary Payton. Good D, definitely an unselfish player. And we were talking about earlier, as far as him trash talking and being able to get in the mind of hands down, best player in the NBA, Michael Jordan at the time. He got in his head, and his percentage of shots dwindled as that series went when he was with the Supersonics. And my last 3 was John Stockton was number 3.
Wow.
10-time All-Star. Can you say anything else? The pick and roll is synonymous with John Stockton's name.
Stockton.
Every time you hear John Stockton, you're going to think of pick and roll. You also hear of Karl Malone, but in order to initiate the pick and roll, there had to be a guard starting it. So definitely John Stockton is my number 3 pick there. Now number 2 was Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas played on a sprained knee, a sprained ankle. He was cut. He had a few cuts. He is the epitome of a guard. He always took it to the basket. Always took it to the basket, and his percentages for shots are outstanding in my view because he always had a good look. And number one on my pick was Magic Johnson. Can play every. Yes, he can play every 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, every position on the floor, and not be tired. He can consistently play those positions. His point average is awesome. His assists are awesome. Everything you want in a basketball player is that number one Magic Johnson that we have. That's my number one pick from 10 to 1. Kevin Johnson, 9, Rajon Rondo, 8, Mo Cheeks, 7, Tony Parker, 6, Steve Nash, 5, Jason Kidd, 4, Gary Payton, 3, John Stockton, 2, Isaiah Thomas, and the Magic Johnson, number 1.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know.
The only asterisks I have there, Rondo.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying as far as the defense. I just think his body of work is not extensive enough. We probably have to see him for a couple more years.
True.
Again, he's new age, so actually he and Tony Parker are the ones that are still playing right now. Nash, he's just on his last leg, so. But pretty much, I agree with you. I would put Stockton up probably number 1, but those shorts, I can't,
Yeah,
those shorts, you can't be number 1.
All right, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Right now, we're going to take a quick break.